Hello everybody and welcome back to 5 Minute Crypto, and today let's discuss the Bitcoin price. In front of us we have a weekly chart for Bitcoin, and one thing that's becoming very apparent when looking at this chart is that a bottom really might be in, or rather that a crazy reversal might be around the corner. One way to back this up is by looking at the chart in front of us and taking a look at the RSI to also prove our point. The prices which we're at right now are the tops of 2017-18, and what we're seeing is that when mixed with the RSI, every single time that from that point forward we've had a dip, the RSI was in similar positions. Now, as you guys might know, every single time the RSI gets below 30, we are in an oversold position. But if we just try to take a look at the dips on the RSI, we're seeing that every time the RSI indeed has dipped close towards 30, that was also a local bottom for Bitcoin. We can see that all the way back in November of 2018, we can see in March of 2020, we could actually also utilize even this dip right here in the July of 2021. It definitely is up for debate as the RSI was not as low here. But as it currently stands, the RSI is actually at a whopping 25, which are levels that we have not seen since all the way back in 2015. I drew it really quickly here to prove a point, but here we can actually see Bitcoin over on the weekly as well. And just to prove that this is the first time that Bitcoin broke through and got some confirmation and literally is being oversold like crazy, the last time we saw that was all the way back here, all the way back in January of 2015, which is also, I guess, some food for thought when looking as to how low the Bitcoin price is right now. Relatively, it is crazy cheap. Having said that, one other factor that I think might be worth a showcase is the Bitcoin RSI. Now, for the last couple of months, what we've seen is that every single time Bitcoin, I'm not sure if I just said Bitcoin RSI or Bitcoin dominance, but this is the Bitcoin dominance. Every single time the Bitcoin dominance came to this 47% area, it dropped right back down to roughly about 40. It came back up and dropped right back down to roughly 40. It came back up and came right back down. Well, it's interesting to note that the RSI has been on an increase within this time period. Very often, this should indicate that the prices or the percentages are also going up. And since that does not seem to be the case, in this scenario, it looks most likely for Bitcoin to actually come right back down. That is talking about the dominance though. And very often when Bitcoin dominance comes down, a lot of altcoins actually start to pick up. But let me actually show you guys from a different perspective. One thing to observe is indeed where the Bitcoin price is at right now. Honestly, we can move just a tiny bit lower. I would say a couple $1,000s lower would not be too crazy, because right now we are retesting the top from 2017-18. And as long as we do not break through, which again we have a couple $1,000s for, then I would say the most logical reversal would be for Bitcoin to touch the upside of this channel, which is also the bottom that we saw right back in June, July of 2021 and in January, February of 2021. I think it's interesting to compare this to Ethereum, which actually has fallen a significant amount more in comparison to its 2017-18 bottom. And all we can conclude for Ethereum on the short term is that it's been bouncing for the last couple of weeks between a couple of very important supports and resistances. You can see here back in February of 2021 and back in January of 2021, but also earlier in January of 2021, we were also struggling at these exact prices, which are funny enough also our first top in 2017 for Ethereum and our biggest top for Ethereum. And I guess here we can see again the resistance for Ethereum showcasing at this exact level. If Ethereum or Bitcoin for that matter were to break through, I'm expecting some additional support over at this local top right here for Ethereum, which is roughly at around $820. And for Bitcoin, that similar top would lie right around $16.3 thousand. I have a little bit additional info for you guys though. If we're looking at the analytics, here's the adjusted SOPR, which basically showcases how many people are realizing their losses. And when combining that with the exchange reserves, there's a couple of very interesting conclusions that we can draw. So first of all, the exchange reserves are decreasing, which basically shows that people are taking their money off of exchanges, which by definition is lowering selling pressure. As I've showcased to you guys a couple of times before, the adjusted SOPR is showcasing how many people are realizing their profit or losses. Whenever it's below 1 though, it's showcasing losses. And if this is a decreasing line, it showcases that more and more people are accepting their faith in the crypto market and accepting their loss and cashing out. So if we mix those two together, this is showcasing a lowering in selling pressure. This is showcasing, again, that money is being taken off exchanges, which means lowering selling pressure. And the first one was that people are realizing their losses, which means there's less to be realized in terms of losses. To add to the claim, there's actually one very interesting analytic as well, which is the percent of supply last active 1+ year ago. which is fun to watch because even though the price is decreasing, the amount of supply, which has not been touched for a year, has actually been increasing over this entire period here, where the Bitcoin price has been decreasing, which basically means people really aren't as willing to let go of the losses might seem, and that a lot of these people are most likely just waiting for the right moment to come back in. Again, movement in wallets usually showcases that something is happening. So a literal, I guess, interpretation of this right here is that people are not really expecting the price to move too much, or rather, they're unsure of where it's about to head. I think that the moment that Bitcoin does show some signs of life again and does show some signs of a reversal, that this number here at that point is going to drastically decrease, as a lot of people will be touching their crypto at that point again. But let me know down below, are you bullish or bearish on crypto right now? And if you enjoyed this little video about analysis in just about 5 minutes, make sure you press that like button and potentially subscribe for another update like this somewhere in the near future.